Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, March 30th, 2023. And here are some of today's trends in the news. And remember, the trend is your friend. And we're the only ones in the world that gives you in-depth trends analysis, trend forecasts, socioeconomic and geopolitical like you can't find anywhere else in the world. For example, let's look at today's trends, the Trends Journal, Wall Street Journal. This is the cover. Yep. King Charles greets Germans with cheers. Look at this guy. Look at him. King Charles. Look at the stupid fucking outfit the guy got on there with all his ribbons and his red sash. I'm better than the rest of you. You are all just little people. Look at this fucking prick. The king. Fuck your king shit up your ass. Bow down. Roll out the red carpet. That's the way that the people obey. Look at this shit. Look at the little fucking medals on them. And look at the cover of our Trends Journal that says perfectly who he is. Here, king. Here, boy. No, I'm royal. A royal piece of fucking shit. Quadruple billionaires. Land everywhere. Hey, all you people in the UK, you know what he's telling you? F-U-C-K. I'm the king. Oh, what is your inflation rate? I think it's only 10.4%. Oh, and the country is turning to crop. But hey, I'm the king. I'm mentioning this because it's the same fucking shit. I'm the president. Roll out the red carpet. I'm a little piece of fucking shit with a dick smaller than a pencil, if I have one. I'm Katson Macron over there in France. I'm Nuts Netanyahu. Fuck the judiciary. I'll tell you what to do. I'm little Chucky Schumer. I'm little Chucky Schumer. I'll tell you what to do. You got it, everybody? You better grow the fuck up. Because these scumbags are destroying our lives. That's the kind of shit you get. That's the kind of fucking propaganda that they put front fucking page. The king arrived. Here comes the king. Here comes the king. Here, king. Here, boy. Anyway, so going on to your trends for the day. On the market front. You know what it was today? The markets went up because of... No, they really went up because of... No, the markets went up because... Yeah. Bullshit. Total fucking bullshit. Gold went up today because the dollar's getting weak. And remember, you heard it first from the Trends Journal and Solente. When the dollar weakens, gold prices are going to skyrocket. And they're going to skyrocket when they hold interest rates and then lower them. Because the only reason the dollar is strong is because interest rates are high. End of story. And oil prices went up today. Well, there are little problems over there in Iraq, but they're back to near $80 a barrel. So this inflation thing isn't over, but the worst is yet to come. And how about that crypto, huh? We told you that when it breaks over 25, the Bitcoin, it's going to be solid if it remains above that 25. And we see the long term of this still going up. If unless, of course, all of a sudden they put a regulation on it because they don't want any competition when they come out with their digital coins. Yeah. So gold prices again, they went up. Almost, the futures just short of $2,000 an ounce. All right. Home prices logged 7 straight monthly decline. Guess what? We don't see a housing market crash. Yes, prices are going to go down, but from where they were, they're way high. Of course, a wild card could change the whole game. But The Trends Journal, you go to our top trends of 2023, and you will see office building bust right down there. You see it? We warned about this for 3 years. And now they're finally talking about it in the mainstream media. This is going to be huge. It's going to bust the banksters. The office building bust is going to bust the banksters. This is from the Wall Street Journal yesterday. Hardly any facts in it, but they're making the story. Distress in office market spreads to high-end buildings. Now these so-called Class A properties, whose rents generally fall into the city's top quartile, are increasingly coming under pressure. The amount of U.S. Class A office space in central business districts that is leased fell in the fourth quarter of the year. All right? Office buildings have seen, again, way at the end of the article, office buildings have seen a steeper drop in values, partially because they are also grappling with weak demand from tenants who are cutting back on workspace. No fucking shit. No shit. We only said this 3 years ago when people started working at home. I'm not going to commute an hour and a half on the LIE after they're stuck at home for months. How the fuck am I getting up at 5 a.m? Like, this sucks doing this shit. I'm not doing it anymore. Oh, and again, the geeks made this happen. They were the first ones to close down. Yeah, the Twitter freak, the Dorsey guy with the beard. Yeah, he was going to go to South Africa. That's him. Yep. I mean, these are fucking people running our lives. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. I'm not going to South Africa. Everybody go home in Twitterland. Yep. And then Facebook with that little fucking Zucker, another little fucking freak. Look at these little fucking freaks that are telling us what to do. Where the hell are your balls to take bullshit from these fucks? So anyway, then one after another, Microsoft, Google, Peach Eye, yeah, all closed down. And the tech business boomed. You can't go out. Restaurants are closed. Order online. Blah, 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 blah. That's what brought down the Silicon Valley Bank. Because then you had all those IPOs and those SPACs, and it was all bullshit. Again, you go back to your Trends Journal, 1999, .com this, called the .com bust. They were doing the same shit, making up crap that wasn't going to go anywhere. We saw the end coming. So now let's go back to the office building bust. That's chump change compared to the trillions and trillions in office building loans. Office buildings have seen a steeper drop in values, partly because of the grappling with weak demand from tenants who are cutting back workspace. Green Street estimates that office values are down. You ready? 25% over the past year. And the worst is yet to come, because now we're going into a recession because of interest rates. And a guy or a woman that's renting all of these offices don't need all the space anymore. There's going to be an office building bust, the likes of which never seen, and we're the only ones that came out and talked about this. And now, Bloomberg, March 30th. Oh, that's today. Manhattan's office vacancy rate is at a record high. More than 16% of the space was empty as of the first quarter, according to brokerage Jones Lang LaSalle Inc. Leasing is at the lowest levels since the second quarter of 2021. The second quarter of 2021, the nation is fighting seriously the COVID war. And everybody's at home. The market, they built a lot of new stuff, 1.5 million square feet office space in the first quarter. So now with more people working remote, how about this for stupid fucking bullshit? Of course it's stupid bullshit. It's coming from another political piece of shit. Yeah. Hey, politicians, who the hell are you? Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Quote, we have to reinvent our office space, New York Mayor Eric Adams, the arrogant Adams, said in an interview with Bloomberg Thursday, adding that empty spaces should be converted into housing. We have a housing crisis. We already have the structures that are built. Hey, Adams, maybe this is too beyond you to understand, but according to the data, the hard data, and politicians don't give a fuck about hard data, office buildings built within the last 50 years are non-convertible for housing, according to the data. Congress sweats the small stuff as four Wall Street megabanks have a combined $3.3 trillion in uninsured deposits. This is in Wall Street on parade. They do a great job. Russ and Pam Martins. That's right. 3.3 trillion. You know what? And again, they make the point here. Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, the two that went bust, represented the second and third largest bank failures, respectively, in U.S. history. These were the biggest, and they're small. They said they had $18 billion in uninsured at SVP, and $2.5 billion at Signature Bank. Bank of America, Bank of America, $902 billion. JP Morgan uninsured, $1 trillion. 1.9 trillion, 1 trillion for JP Morgan. Wells Fargo, $721 billion. Citibank, 607,000 billion. Yep. All uninsured. Office building bust. Yep. Regulators knew of failed Silicon Bank problems, but took no action. Oh, of course not. This is according to CNBC story. It's the bankster gang. Here's your cover of the Wall Street Journal, 2012. Easter time's coming. Easter time's coming. Jesus Christ drove the banksters out of the temple. Nothing's changed. And then 3 days later, he's on the cross. You don't fuck with the banksters. But they're a criminal group because, this is from the Financial Times. Credit Suisse violated 2014 plea deal over secret accounts. Credit Suisse whistleblowers say Swiss Bank has been helping wealthy Americans dodge U.S. tax for years. CNBC. Of course they do. It's a crime syndicate. Look at the criminals running the show. Very important. The death of the dollar is coming, and we're going to be writing more about it in next week's Trends Journal. More and more countries have had enough of America, their military hegemony and their economic hegemony. Moscow driven toward embracing renminbi, the yuan, the Chinese currency. This is the Financial Times. More and more and more countries are going to go, and we're going to be writing a lot about it in this week's Trends Journal, and it's also a lot in this week's Trends Journal. And here's this week's Trends Journal, another great cover by Anthony Frieda, because the American way, no peace, only war. U.S. track record proves it. The business of America is war. The business of China is business. And that's what we're going to start getting more into. So the death of the dollar is coming soon. This is just the beginning. Americans lost a lot of financial ground last year. A new study just came out today. JD Power. Let's see. The share of Americans who feel financially healthy declined by 9 percentage points in March from a year ago. The percentage of consumers who feel financially vulnerable increased by 8%. Send more money to the military-industrial complex. We only sent $115 billion to Ukraine. Fuck the American citizens. It's the cover of your Trends Journal this week. It's only the American way. War, murder, enrich the military-industrial complex. Let's see. The share of bank customers with more than $10,000 in deposit balances at their main bank declined by nearly 30% in March to 28% in March from 44% a year ago. The percentage with less than $1,000 jumped to 30% from 17% a year ago. Aggregate savings dropped from $2.3 trillion in the third quarter of 2021 to $1.2 trillion now. The people are going broke. The worse the recession gets, the worse this is going to get. The worst is yet to come. Ukraine vows to evict monks and priests from monastery. Ukraine's government says it's using legal means to evict monks and priests from the Orthodox monastery complex in Kyiv if they did not leave by yesterday. And the monastery site, whose origins date back to more than 1,000 years ago, is a network of cathedrals, bell towers, stone fortifications, caves, etc. So, could you imagine if the headline read, Ukraine vows to evict the rabbis from the synagogue? Oh my God, that would be terrible. Oh, but these monks don't, it's the Russian Orthodox Church. It's still Christian. People are only allowed to believe in one way. What hypocrisy this is. American Jews in backlash over Netanyahu's judicial reforms. Big article in the Financial Times. They say that Netanyahu, the U.S. Jewish community, is trying to undermine Israel's democratic institutions. This is big. Again, when all else fails, they take you to war. And Israel, more bombings in Syria. This is the kind of bullshit that they put out only one side of the story. Bullshit. You ready? Ukraine war live updates. Kyiv says nearly 500 children have died in the conflict. 500 children out in a year. It's terrible. How many did Americans kill in Iraq? Didn't report this every day or ever. How many children did America kill in Afghanistan, in Vietnam? How many children has Israel killed in Palestine? How about this? According to the United Nations, 377,000, that's right, 1,000 Yemenis have been slaughtered by the United States-Saudi war to get them Houthis. Half of them, according to the United Nations, are children. Only a couple of 100,000. But that they don't make headlines. Propaganda. Russian troops are getting slaughtered at Bakhmut, A top U.S. general said. General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. You look at this guy, too. Holy shit, man. What this guy Milley looks like. For about the past 21 days, the Russians have not made any progress. So it's, quote, so it's a slaughter fest for the Russians. They're getting hammered. Any Ukrainians dying over there? You're only getting one side of the story. And that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. We give you all sides. We're political atheists. So subscribe to the Trends Journal, trendsjournal.com, trendsjournal.com. Again, I just read you the headline and showed you the stupid shit that the Wall Street Journal's putting out. Is that $5 a day? The Trends Journal's $2.86 a week. So we're giving you what nobody in the world is giving you. In-depth socioeconomic and geopolitical trend forecasting and trends analysis you won't find anywhere else. And remember, hit that subscribe button also to get people to get, we've got to build these numbers up on the YouTube here. So, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. All right, I told you that the death of the dollar is coming. I was going to, again, this week's Trends Journal, again, over 160 pages, no ads. So nobody pays us what to say. Nobody. All right, so today's Wall Street Journal. Riyadh bolsters ties with Chinese. That's Saudi Arabia. They're doing a lot of deals with them. The 20th century was the American century. The 21st century is going to be the Chinese century. Because the business of America has been war. I keep saying, and the business of China is business. China is Saudi Arabia's top trading partner. Okay? They're going to tell America, fuck off. What you're going to do with your petrodollar, too. Yeah. Ready? Today's toilet paper record, the New York Times. EU leaders keep Beijing on itinerary despite pressure by U.S. to pick sides. China is a key trading and investment partner that major European powers cannot afford to alienate. Diplomats. How's that for another fucking piece of shit word? Like you're fucking in kindergarten, a diplomat. Some fucking piece of political scum. That's a member of the rotten scum club. Diplomat. Yeah, diplomat. Yeah, diplomat and kiss my ass. You become a diplomat. Said that in meetings with the U.S. authorities, hey, we'll tell you what to do. We're the authorities. Democracy, go fuck yourself. We're authorities. This is the language. You got it? Diplomats said that in a meeting with U.S. authorities, American policymakers will tell you this shit to swallow and what to do. Read the words, right? Have described the close coordination of EU-U.S. sanctions against Russia as a blueprint for possible future sanctions against China, should there be a military move against Taiwan. So, Saudi Arabia eyes entry into Asia Security Club. It's Financial Times. You see where this is going? You got it? And then a lot more, but I'm going to wrap it up with a very uplifting, sad story. Hospitals are increasingly crowded with kids who try to harm themselves, study finds. The portion of American hospital beds occupied by children with suicidal or self-harming behaviors soared over the course of a decade. A large study of admissions to acute care hospitals show. This is so sad. Yep. Hospitalizations increased 25.8% at a cost of $1.37 billion between 10 years from 2009 to 2018. People hate me for this, but I could give a fuck. To me, it all went down big time We didn't have obesity. Again, you look at the pictures of my generation, Woodstock, you look at the pictures, there are no blimps floating around like they're all over the place now. You know why? Mothers were raising their children. If they went to work, there used to be a thing called families. Your grandmother, your aunts maybe took care of you, but it was still the family love. And then they became daycare centers. Yep, daycare centers. I'm going off to work and putting my kid in with a total stranger with a bunch of other screaming little kids. Little kids. You're out of your fucking mind. You need the love of the family. You don't have it. And they're feeding you shit. They're feeding you shit. I wonder why they went out of their minds. This didn't happen when I was a young guy. I'm the top of the baby boom. After World War II, they called it a baby boom because the guys were tired of going overseas and fighting and wanted to come home and have a hard time and fuck your brains out. So you had all those babies, they boomed. Rather than getting shot, they're making love. So there's like 40 kids in my class when I'm a kid. Schools were packed. You didn't have this stuff. Maybe one kid was out of his mind a little bit, but he wasn't even that bad. So to me, nursing homes are for the elderly that are going out, and daycare centers are nursing homes for children. I just brought my sister up from a nursing home. She was in the top place in New York City. Top in the country. One of the top in the country. Every time I go visit her, she was like this. They're very nice. People there were wonderful. Can't say a bad thing about them. It's not your family and you're all drugged out. I brought her up here in December. Totally different person. She's painting. She has bad dementia. She talks now. Smiles, jokes. Couldn't say 2 words before. Now she says complete sentences. Daycare centers are nursing homes for children. So if you're going to have a kid, consider raising him. I wouldn't be me if my mother and father didn't raise me. May their souls rest in peace. And I thank them every day for all they gave me, because all I am is because of them and my wonderful aunts and uncles and ancestors that were so kind and loving. And when you have that love every day and they care for you that way, you're a different person. So when you read the data of where this country is going and around the world, it's going down the toilet unless we change it, a renaissance. So remember, subscribe to the Trends Journal. Go to trendsjournal.com. We're going through very, very critical times now, and we're giving you a no one. There was a 30-day money back guarantee on the thing. You could buy it by the month, by the way. $14, nothing. And change. And if you don't like it, you get your money back. There's no magazine like this. Nothing like it. And remember, we're going to have a Peace and Freedom rally on May 27th in Kingston, New York. We'll be telling you more about that. It'll probably start around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We had Judge Napolitano so far, and we're building up the cast of people. We're going to have music, entertainment, good time. And I put my money where my heart and my mind and my soul are. I fight for peace. Easter time's coming up, and I'm a warrior for the Prince of Peace. Oh, and don't forget, watch Celente and the Judge yesterday. It's a powerful one. Oh, and I know that Trump got indicted, but that's not going to change the bottom line anywhere. Not news we can use, so we don't even talk about that. That's why we don't cover it. We give you information that you need to help you prepare, prevail, and prosper. Thanks for tuning in.
At the Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
Over the last 30 years, Joe Celente has been more accurate about predicting what would be happening than anyone else I'm aware of.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, There's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rates to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.